Hi, my name's Jess Dorrance, and I'm the Research Director with NC Impact Initiative. Today, I'm going to provide some information on the Carolina Cross 100 Request for Partnership process for communities that want to be a part of our first program focused on expanding employment and educational pathways for Opportunity Youth. This webinar recording will provide applicants with an overview of the Carolina Cross 100 initiative, more information about applying to be part of the program, and a timeline for next steps. First, I want to take a couple of minutes to provide some background on this initiative and explain how we got to where we are today. I'll start by telling you a little bit about the Carolina Cross 100 initiative. This is a pan-university effort to partner with communities in each of North Carolina's 100 counties. It is charged by UNC's Chancellor Kevin Guskowich and coordinated by NC Impact Initiative. This initiative embodies the public university's mission to enhance the quality of life for all people in the state. The goal is to address the challenges created or exacerbated by COVID-19. And it's designed to build and support cross-sector collaborations in North Carolina communities. I also want to tell you about the vision for this initiative. The vision is to improve the lives of residents in each North Carolina county through projects involving cohorts of communities. The vision is also to secure the confidence of North Carolina residents that their flagship university is here to support them. The vision is to capture what we learn at each step of the way to support subsequent community-based efforts. The vision is also to embrace and promote all the existing efforts happening across our campus and in our communities, and to lift those up as examples. This work began with a deep listening data collection phase to understand the impacts of COVID-19 on communities and businesses. We launched a statewide survey that included nearly 3,000 usable responses from every single county in the state and nearly 80 in-depth one-on-one interviews. Our data sheds critical new light on several aspects of individuals' experiences of the pandemic, including that many respondents feel that significant impacts are still ahead. This indicates that we have a window of opportunity to support communities in the coming months while challenges continue to exist, or in some cases, even expand. Our data pointed to several challenges, but three main challenges and areas of concern for North Carolina communities clearly rose to the top. Those are issues related to educational disruptions, employment instability, and the loss of small businesses. We also learned from our listening phase that significant concerns regarding the impacts to organizations and businesses involve staffing and workforce shortages. This includes issues of early or unexpected retirements, other staffing reductions, concerns about the mental health and well-being of workers, and most significantly, burnout among staff. Other areas of concern related to operational supply chain and service disruptions, cost-related issues, and for some it was just too soon to tell. Not surprisingly, our data also indicated that while everyone has been deeply affected by COVID-19, some populations have borne a disproportionate brunt of the negative impacts. Our respondents told us that working class individuals, people of color, and mothers were all disproportionately impacted. Additionally, in our other category, respondents frequently reported that students and young people experienced disproportionate impacts. We also know from other data sources that young people ages 16 to 24 have experienced the highest rates of unemployment in the early part of the pandemic, with unemployment rates tripling between spring of 2019 and spring of 2020 for this age group. This was the largest unemployment rate increase of any other age group. Armed with this information, along with guidance from experts across the UNC campus who have experience with community-engaged work, we launched the first Carolina Cross 100 program, focused on expanding employment and educational pathways for young adults. I want to say a little bit more about this population. We will be focusing on young adults ages 16 to 24 who are not connected to work and not connected to school. For this reason, these young adults are sometimes referred to as disconnected youth, but we prefer the term opportunity youth because it better captures the sense of possibility and hopefulness that exists with this population. Now, I'll shift gears a little to talk about from how we got here to talk about where we go next in this process. That takes us to the application for partnership and community selection. Through an application process, a panel of Carolina Across 100 representatives will select 20 communities to participate in the 2-year program. Communities may apply as individual county teams, a municipal county partnership, or a multi-county collaborative. So let's talk a little bit more about what we expect from community applicants. We expect them to identify a core team composed of individuals from multiple different sectors. We expect them to demonstrate community commitment by having at least 3 letters of support. We also expect that they'll have some prior experience working with Opportunity Youth. We expect them to have some understanding of the types of barriers that exist to educational attainment and living wage employment for Opportunity Youth in their communities. Lastly, we expect to include some diversity of geography, economy, and demographics with our community applicants. For applicants who are selected to participate in this effort, that core team identified in the application will identify the full community team, which we call the local collaborative. The Carolina Across 100 team will assist communities with stakeholder identification to build that collaborative team. They'll include a diverse team of community stakeholders, including representatives from workforce and business, community colleges, local not-for-profit organizations, and local government representatives. All the stakeholders together will be active participants in the 2-year program, and given differences between communities, the composition of teams will likely vary. Here is some information about what we expect from community applicants. Each community collaborative will meet monthly over the course of the program to develop and implement a coach and strategy that leverages existing assets and activities, increases the workforce preparation and participation, educational attainment, and re-engagement pathways for Opportunity Youth, and improves equity in educational attainment and living wage employment opportunities. So now let's talk a little bit about the university resources that we have available to support communities in this work. The university will provide robust data and analytics, guided listening sessions with Opportunity Youth to engage them in determining their own best pathways, visibility and marketing support for existing local programs, evidence-based supports that reduce barriers to participation, human resources that support employers who participate in order to help them become local employers of first choice, program management support, assistance in leveraging key financial resources, including federal, state, and philanthropic funding, mini grants to support pilot programs aimed at Opportunity Youth and employers seeking to hire from this population, and a community toolkit and other resources to implement and sustain local efforts. These are the kinds of supports that are available to communities who are a part of these collaboratives. Altogether, we hope and expect these collaboratives will have deep local impact by increasing effectiveness of workforce programs focused on Opportunity Youth and increasing connections among educational systems, employers, local governments, and other stakeholders. They'll also build capacity across the state by creating cross-community learning and partnerships, as well as delivering model policies to inform North Carolina's broader policy landscape. And they'll leverage key resources, including funding from federal, state, and philanthropic sources, and leverage data tools and metrics to measure collaborative progress in moving the needle towards achieving their goals. Now let's talk about the application. To begin an application, go to the Carolina Across 100 homepage at carolinaacross100.unc.edu. When you get to the landing page, you'll notice a menu bar across the top of the screen. Navigate to the upper right-hand corner where it says Projects, and a drop-down menu will appear. Click on the first option called Our State, Our Work. This will take you to a page providing information about Program 1. Near the top of the screen, you'll see a button that says Apply Now. If you scroll down further onto that page, you'll find more information, some of which was covered in this webinar. Now you're at the application page. You can scroll down to find some additional information about applying or to refresh your memory on some of the information that we've covered in this webinar. You can also begin the application immediately by clicking the application button. This will take you to our online application form. A few things to note about that. As you go through the application, you can move forward and backwards. You may also close the application before you complete it and open it back up where you left off. However, to do that, you must access it again from the same computer or mobile device. We're near the end of this webinar, so let's talk about what happens next. We hope that you'll join us for a live Q&A session on April the 12th at 11 a.m. You can find a link to register for this session on the Carolina Across 100 projects page at the link directly below. Also, remember that April 25th is the deadline for submitting applications. Again, you can find the link to the application page on the Carolina Across 100 website on the Program 1 application page. In the Q&A session on April 12th, we'll talk more about the application review process. We'll offer more details about requirements of program participation, as well as more details on resources, funding, and roles within the collaborative team. We'll talk about how to remain engaged if your application is not selected for participation. We hope that when you register to participate in the Q&A session, you'll submit questions in advance using the questions box. However, you're also welcome to bring questions to the conversation. Thank you for tuning into this informational webinar about the application process for Carolina Across 100's first program focused on Opportunity Youth. We hope that you'll submit questions and join us for the Q&A session on April the 12th. And we hope that you'll apply to join other local collaboratives as we work to improve the employment and educational opportunities for North Carolina's young adults. Thanks.